Hello everybody, my name is Prince Boss and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Last time we did some more investigating. We went to Herlock Sholmes' house. Very nice. We got to meet Iris and see how great of a deductor she is, and let's just say that she is absolutely spot on. Then we came over to Mr. Garadeb's house, started to investigate here a bit, and we found out that this Mr. Garadeb guy is holding something back from us. So, and that's what we're trying to figure out now. So, I did some thinking, and it wouldn't be the mortar shells. Definitely wouldn't be. Now let me explain why. Herlock Sholmes didn't see the picture behind the lion, and the dude was looking straight, probably straight at the lion. And that would only mean one thing. He was looking behind the lion. So, and the only people that we were talking about was powerful, and I think that was what Sasato was hinting at prior. The only person powerful in that photo is the newlywed wife. Yep.
Take that!
The true nature of the beast that has run rampant here is revealed by that newlywed bride. Precisely this no other explanation could possibly fit. Yes, this framed print pictures your wife, Mr. Garadeb. And while we lament the fact that her face is obscured, we can still make out her mighty arms and note the considerable horsepower they must contain. Indeed, surely any woman of such powerful constitution would be honored to be described as a beast. Honored might be stretching the point. Too late. The fact remains that the beast, which so clearly savaged the room, was your wife, Mr. Garadeb. Oh, he got slapped. I can see handprint on his face. The chilling traces of a wild rampage are still very much in evidence. Where? Yet as we look around, the beast in question fails to present itself. Where could this angry creature have disappeared to? Madam. May! I pray you do not consider me unchivalrous, but it is plain to me with one glance in your direction. Is it? Your dress pocket gives us a handsome clue as to where the current beast's whereabouts are. The poor fragile, defenseless woman is beside herself. Well, I don't know about fragile. Oh, dear. Anyway, Mr. Sholmes is quite right. There's no sign of a Mrs. Garadeb anywhere. But it seems there may be a clue as to her whereabouts. A clue that this maid is trying to hide. I wonder where Mr. Garadeb's wife could be. Way for me to look down. What a charming little teapot, and it's in pristine condition. Joan must be pouring some deliciously fragrant tea from it. For Mr. Garadeb, hasn't she? Well, not so much for Mr. Garadeb. As on Mr. Garadeb, what he said. I wouldn't dream of drawing attention to it. Sorry, jeez. Take a look at her pocket. That certainly does appear to be a circus handbill poking out from her pocket. Daddy's Circus. Currently performing shows in a park not far from here. You don't think... Surely Mr. Garadeb didn't sell his wife to the circus. Now, ho, do. How could you even think of such a thing? I was only joking. Besides, I would have gone with, do you think he fed her to the pet lion? That's somehow worse. Huh. Oh. Oh. Hello? Oh. He's wearing a very large ring, look. Oh yes, a sunflower design with some rather nice embellishments. And it's on the ring finger of her left hand, which means surely a wedding ring. It looks like it's on there for life, too. I can't imagine it would slide off a finger of that size. That's something to think, Mr. Naohodo, not to say. Do you know Mr. Garrideb's wife in the photograph had a ring very much like this one? It was a large sunflower design as well. Really? You have a great memory for these things. A large sunflower wedding. It's quite a coincidence that they have the very same ring, isn't it? I think I've got to present the wedding ring.
Take that!
Your wedding ring gives us a handsome clue as to the beast's current whereabouts. Ah! Indeed it does. That flowery band gleaming on your finger gives you away. Well, it is identical to the one shown on the hand of Mr. Garrideb's bride in this photographic print. In other words, you are no ordinary household maid. Oh. No. No. You are Mr. Garrideb's lucky wife. You are Mrs. Garrideb herself. Oh my word! Found you. Well, jolly fine detecting, sir. As you rightly surmise, this is the wife, yes? My Joan. Is it Joan or Joanne? I'd rather let it... It would appear that you don't live in the most comfortable of circumstances. After all, you are a retired army man, yet you are in the business of renting out rooms. I would assume, therefore, you have insufficient means to employ a maid. Would that be correct? It's not right, I tell you! I was second lieutenant in the 3rd Regiment. A man has his pride, don't you know? By golly, it's a sorry thing when a chap can't even afford to have a single maid in his employ. Yes, here in London, one is rather judged. A household cannot be considered worthy of society if it employs no staff at all. Though, in my considered opinion, such concerns about appearances are folly. You mean Mr. Garrideb has his wife work as his maid? Precisely. Am I right, Mr. Garrideb? Only in company, obviously. But listen here. This must remain a secret. Tip-top secret, please. Alright. The raging wife of Mr. Garrideb. Now the aftermath. No, Mr. Garrideb. It is plainly clear that you still have deep feelings for this formidable beast. Indeed, in that glide pose, the distress that this loss has caused you is veritably tangible. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that supporting arm. Nope. Mr. Sholmes is quite something. He's still calling Mr. Garrideb's wife a beast. Yes, as a woman, that feels rather uncomfortable. But Mr. Garrideb is standing beside her husband as we speak. Or Mrs. Garrideb. In other words, he hasn't lost his beloved at all, has he? Oh, how true! So perhaps that supporting arm that seems to be propping up his head has some other significance then. According to Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Garrideb's pain is tangible, though. What could that pose of his really signify? I think I saw a slap mark. A slap.
Take that!
There's no need to look into it, we already know that's the one. Your head weighs heavy on your shoulders, the pain you feel being revealed by that slapped cheek. And of course, the dilemma of that impressive mark on your cheek that refuses to fade. Was you, Madame Joan Garrideb? Well, yes. You have been desperate to hide that slap mark on your cheek, sir. Ugh. How the blazes? How did you work that out, man? Nothing escapes the notice of one trained in the art of observation, my dear fellow. That's why you haven't looked directly at us even once. To keep your other side from view. Well, Now, let us proceed to the next conundrum. Why were you subjugated to such a violent slap? In other words, we must ask ourselves what caused Madame Garrideb to fly into a rage. And we need only follow the direction of your gaze to find the answer. Yes, it is these piles of bills that have given rise to the pain you suffer. Didn't Mr. Sholmes say that the bills were all for lion fodder? Yes, but now we've established that the lion never existed. Which can only mean that the thing responsible for gobbling up all that food was Mr. Garrideb's wife. Mr. Naruhodo, she's a person, not a thing! Yes, well, she's also a person who gave her husband a mighty slap around the face. One so hard that it left a perfect hand mark, in fact. Yes, why would a woman want to hit her husband with such force, I wonder? I'd love to know the answer to that question. Does it have something to do with that bookmark, maybe? Ooh. Ah, someone must be reading this book at the moment. There's a bookmark here, look. Mr. Garrideb is clearly an avid reader. Oh, wait a minute. I don't think this is a bookmark. Oh no, so it isn't. It's a note written in a woman's hand. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. And look next to the signature here. Lip marks, made with lipstick. Oh, what a passionate and romantic gesture. Don't get any ideas, Soseki-San. Oh dear, I'm sorry. So this bookmark is actually a love note then. What did love note?
Take that!
Yes, it is this love note that has given rise to the pain you suffered. Oh, James, I love you. Yours, Mary. Passionate indeed. Perhaps the sender of this note, a certain Miss Mary, is the fly in the ointment here. Ugh. But I don't know the Bali woman. You don't know her? That note wasn't written to me. It was just in the book. I don't know how it got there. It was just in there, you say? That's right, that's what I've been saying. Ah! A likely story. Now listen here, Joan, old thing. I explained at the time. I bought the book at the second-hand place, and that note must have already been in there. So, the previous owner of the book was using the note as a bookmark, you mean? That's right, that's what I've been saying. Ugh! A likely story! For heaven's sake, woman, look at the name! It's written in James! My name, in case you've forgotten, is John! Ugh! A likely story! Are you questioning my name now? Oof! And there we have it. Arouse the suspicions of the female heart and you unleash a beast with the most ferocious bite. Ugh. Now, in a final fit of rage, the ferocious beast carried out one last unimaginable attack. Unimaginable? The aftermath of which can be clearly seen by observing the carpet over there. A very expensive woolen carpet, if I am not mistaken. Oh, dearie me! What could have caused such a destructive outburst? This time, madam, I'm afraid it is you who has inadvertently revealed the truth. Your wandering eye has settled upon the answer very neatly indeed. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the Tower of Cakes. It is not the Tower of Cakes. But surely Mrs. Garadeb didn't eat the carpet? No, of course not. But there doesn't seem to be any doubt that the state of disarray that this room is in is a result of her wild temper. No, that's true. So, this is the last part of Mr. Sholmes' deductions that we need to fix. We need only to follow Mrs. Garadeb's gaze, and it will tell us the answer. Alright, let's see what we can see. Yes! Well, I did notice you. Or, I guess I can't click on that, so candlestick. This looks like a very old candlestick, doesn't it? The base looks too small. Surely it's very unstable. It looks to me like even the slightest knock would make it topple over. Oh dear, that would be dangerous. Wait, take a closer look at this. There's one candle missing. Yes, I didn't notice that before. Why is that, I wonder? Why is one candle of the 3 missing from its holder? Because it's on the floor.
Take that!
I noticed that when we were first in here. Yes, to explain the dire state of the carpet, we need only look at the candlestick. Most illuminating, my dear fellow. And, of course, the only possible way out of this logical labyrinth. Yes, the remnants of a fierce attack in which the carpet was devoured are clearly visible. Indeed, they are. The scorch marks of the edge clearly give the truth away. Scorch marks. It would appear that this room was the scene of a little marital altercation. Oh, that was Sholmes. Whatever. Mrs. Garadeb's mighty arm muscles left an impression not only on her husband's face, but on the entire room. The force of a strike caused a candle to fall from its holder. And in seconds, the carpet was alight, and the whole corner of the room in flames. Yes, But the most ferocious beast in this world is neither a violent lion nor a vengeful woman, but fire. And in this room, that ferocious beast bared its claws and ran amok. Eloquently put, my dear fellow. So you see, there is but one conclusion here. After the sparks of marital discord flew, the room was the scene of a fire.
Oh, he's getting up. Alright. Mr. Sholmes, sir? I salute you! Whoa, whoa! Well, kiss off. Not really. Just this little deduction. But we're done with this one, so that's good. We're moving up in the world, boys and girls. Ladies and gents. It's these dashed long winter nights, you know. Nothing to do but read in front of the fire. Luckily, there's a jolly good second-hand bookshop just around the corner. Buy all my old novels there. And in the pages of one particular novel, you discovered some rather illicit material. For which your wife admonished you harshly, it seems. Don't know about admonished. Demolished might be rather closer to the mark. And Beast is most certainly absent. Here we go again. And the carpet? Was that destroyed by fire when a candle fell on the floor? Ready to say it was. Happened in the blink of an eye, you know. The whole place filled with smoke. Couldn't see a bally thing. I was caught between the old stick's rage and the raging flames. You paint a taut picture, sir. One that would have been most entertaining. That's sympathy for you. Didn't take long for the fire to spread, of course. The bally furniture started going up as well. We've had to hide the mess behind that screen for the time being.
Over here, Mr. Garrideb?
Well, you have nothing more to hide now. If you allow me. Ooh! Lots of books. And a bookcase. Burnt. Had all my favorite old novels in that case. As soon as the fire got hold of them, that was it. Whoosh! Up in smoke. Gosh. Then the wife started hurling things at me.
What a terrible sight it must have been.
There I was, backed up against the window under heavy enemy fire, incendiary books coming 10 to the dozen. Worst of it is, I lost my favorite book called The Lion's Pride.
The Lion's Pride?
Ah, yes, your notorious love for big cats coming through again. I assure you, the title didn't influence my choice in the slightest. So the poor man really did lose something dear to him as a result of the ferocious beast's rampage.
Mr. Sholmes' deductions turned out to be correct once again.
Can only be described as a great British wonder. I tell you, it was total carnage. Flames everywhere, and the old stick in full fettle. Out of interest, what time of day was that? Not sure I can remember. It was 2 days ago now. Let's see. Around 5 o'clock, I think.
So, at exactly the same time as a terrifying incident was unfolding outside your window on the street below.
Even more terrifying on the inside, I can assure you. The whole of Blighty could have been flattened outside my window at that moment, and I wouldn't have noticed a dashed thing.
Oh, really?
Mr. Sholmes. Yes, Miss Naruhodo. What can I do for you? Well, I think we've got to the bottom of Mr. Garrideb's situation now. But what does this have to do with Mr. Natsumi's circumstances? I can't help you there, I'm afraid. What? My dear fellow, if you recall, I did say as much from the outset. I warned you that, although I know that retired army men to be hiding something, I could not be sure whether his secret would prove to be of relevance or not. I just knew you were gonna say that! Now, Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't lose heart. Bear in mind that all things fall into one of only two categories. Are those relevant to the case, and those not. That makes no sense to me. Well, no matter. It is of far greater importance that you make up your mind now. Sorry? Visiting hours at the prison will soon be over. Ugh. Oh no, is it that time already?
If we're to accept Mr. Natsumi's case, we have official paperwork to attend to.
So that's it? No more time to think.
Perhaps you like to betake yourselves to bidding us farewell now. I must prepare supper for Mr. Garrett.
Oh yes, I'm so sorry.
Thank you both very much for your time.
Soseki-San will be waiting for us, and I'm going to have to give him an answer. Alright, let's get out of here. Can't take that couple anymore. Thought we were going to the prison. Did I click the prison? I thought I clicked the prison.
It's time, Miss Naruhodo-san. We must hurry back to the prison.
Yes, I know. Let's hail a carrot. Oh.
What's the matter?
It looks like something's going on over there in front of Mr. Garridup's house.
Hmm?
Oh? What the fuck are you? What the fuck? What the fuck? What is this? Are you the court jester? What's your name?
I know thee not,
Old man.
pray, fall to thy prayer.
What the fuck?
Who are you calling, old man, you rum-looking niminy-piminy?
There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt in your philosophy.
Who's this Horatio fella, huh? What are you all about?
Excuse me.
Eh? What the? Who are you now?
I'm sorry. It just looked as though there might be some problem here. And my associate here, Mr. Ryunosuke Naruhodo, is a lawyer, you see.
Eh? Lawyer? What?
If I can be of any assistance, I'd be happy to help. I'm from Japan, but I have studied English law.
Tch. Fine. I'll be on me way for today. But you mark my words. This ain't over yet.
Get thee to a nunnery.
Do I look like a bloomin' nun to you?
I have no idea what's going on.
I do hope you're not injured. Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so gentle. Thank you.
What was that all about?
There are more things in heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy.
I'm not Horatio either.
Forgive the inquiry, sir, but are you a lodger here in the Garrideb residence? Oh, fair Eastern maiden, thou art so right. Yes, I do dwell in this humble abode.
Mr. Garrideb mentioned that he had another lodger, didn't he?
This must be the man.
Do you happen to know the other lodger who lives on the first floor?
Yes, a gentleman named Natsume. Oh, more worthy, polemist in my battle of words, near could there be.
Sorry, battle, did you say? Who is the stronger, Hamlet or Macbeth? Mr. Natsumi and I sparred long into the night. I see.
I don't fully understand, but it seems Mr. Natsumi and this gentleman are acquaintances at least. So, fair maiden, so, good gentlemen, I can tarry here no longer. Fare thee well. What?
I am so confused with that guy. I don't want to see him in court, please.
I didn't really understand him, but I think he's returned to his room.
It seems he's unaware of what's happened to Mr. Natsumi, so he can't really help us. Soseki-San and that man as lodgers. The Garridev house is certainly full of eccentrics.
Anyway, I'll go find a carriage. Yes, I'm sure Mr. Natsumi is eagerly awaiting our return.
Let's hope we can get to the prison before visiting hours are over. Oh no. Here we go. It's the crazy. Oh, I forgot his voice too. Okay, I forgot his voice, but let's try it. Oh, it's you. You're here. You came. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. I can't believe you came back. I'm so touched.
We are so sorry to have kept you waiting, Mr. Natsumi.
Oh, no. Think nothing of it. Relax. If I were a cat, I would purr with pleasure at the company of such fine compatriots. Noble, nurturing, never failing, Nipponese! Oh, now, let's not get carried away. I don't know who this is, so I'm going to say it in my normal voice. Oh, I quite agree. There's nothing more reassuring than the familiarity of one's native land. On the other hand... Oh, it's Holmes. It is through friendship transcending international borders that one truly appreciates the fact. Such is my belief, at least. Ah! Oh, it's you! The miserable rotten spy! Hairlock Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes, what are you doing here?
I have no intention of doing
anything per se. Save observing, of course.
Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholmes?
Well, having encountered some curious reading material in that gloomful room, and having unmasked the secret identity of that eccentric pair, I decided I should drop in on my way home to see how our divested friend is faring. Gloomful room? At least your accommodation here offers a window, my dear fellow. In that sense, it is a superior option. Anyway, I must commend you on your taste in books. My day has been a delight and cost me not a penny. Ah, you! How dare you, Hairlock Sholmes! I've had it. I'm through. I'm at the end of my rope. I should never have come to Great Britain. It was a terrible mistake. Haunted by spirits in those accursed lodgings. No doubt my luck will be cursed in tomorrow's trial as well. My whole life has been damned!
What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo?
You mentioned that once before, didn't you? That his lodgings were cursed, I mean? And there is much truth in Mr. Mustache's words. What? Cursed is a wholly appropriate description, I would say, for the man's lodgings, and indeed for tomorrow's trial. What's that supposed to mean? Oh, what's the verse? Mr. Natsumi, what did you mean by what you said just now? About the trial tomorrow being cursed? Oh no, why are you looking so grave? You're making me nervous. I was just getting carried away, that's all. I didn't mean anything by it. Oh, I see. That's really agitated him. You don't mean the trial really is cursed somehow? you referring to the prosecutor, the Reaper of the Bailey? The Reaper? Oh no, what do you mean? Please tell me. Summarize it securely in 16 salient words. No defendant has ever survived a trial in which the Reaper stands for the prosecution. Ever. Oh my goodness! It can't really be true! That was 16 words exactly!
Yesterday, Mr. Naruhodo successfully defended someone against the Reaper. But then, after the trial was over, the defendant passed away in unusual circumstances.
Mr. McGilded. What? Ah, I am impressed, Mrs. Sato. You have an eye for detail.
Actually, the Lord Chief Justice told us.
Mr. Sholmes, surely it can't be that having failed to have accused convicted, Lord Van Zykes killed the man himself?
Oh no, he couldn't have, surely.
You have some wonderful notions. Sorry? The man isn't a mass murderer. He's a court prosecutor, my dear fellow.
Oh, yes. Why, of course he is.
Of course he is. Then why are you trying to scare me? It could be said, however, that the real truth about the man is even more terrifying than your hypothesis. You know something that we don't, apparently. What on earth do you mean by that? Let's go to Cursed Lodgings first. When you said Accursed Lodgings before, were you referring to your room at Mr. Garadeb's house, I assume? Do you mean to say that you believe the place is cursed? It's been a year now since I came to Great Britain. But I'd only been in London a week before I started to notice strange feelings in myself. That didn't take long then. Everywhere I looked, there were foreign faces staring at me, laughing behind my back. I was sure people were talking about me. I started becoming nervous about going outside. They were always staring at me, all the time, from dusk to dawn, dawn to dusk. So I shut myself away in my room. But even that didn't help. The fear wouldn't go away.
You must have been very lonely, having been away from your homeland for such a long time.
I've had to move a number of times. Most recently to that room on Briar Road a week ago now. Yes, why did you choose there? It seems a little inconvenient. The rent is cheap. I have so little money. It appealed to me straight away. Of course, I asked why it was so affordable. The landlord just simpered and said, "The room is cursed." Oops. He quickly tried to cover his mistake, but it was too late, so I told him, "If you have something to say, then say it, but if not, don't mention it to me in the first place!" I'm sorry guys if I'm like blowing out the mic. I don't know until the video's over. Yes. Well said. But it was true. It was true. You mean the room really is cursed? Ever since I moved into that windowless hellhole, my sleep has been plagued with nightmares. I awake feeling as though I've been choked to death. And in my waking hours, people are stabbed in front of me as I walk down the street. I'm branded a killer, thrown in prison. Nobody wants to know me. I'm surrounded by scary, sinister spirits. If only there was someone. There's one person on my side. Can no one find it in his or her heart to believe in me? Really, no one at all. To believe? Yes, to believe. I'm gonna do the Reaper first. Van Zykes is a quite exceptional man. However, in London courts of law, exceptional does not equate to winning every case without exception. That's good! Soseki-San looks like he's gonna cry tears of joy. As you are no doubt aware, in a British criminal trial, there is both a judge and a jury. The judge officiates based on the letter of the law, whilst the jury offers public opinion and common sense. It is an excellent system, whereby the defendant's guilt is considered by several points of view. However, public opinion in particular is somewhat easily manipulated. Right. Criminals, and corrupted lawyers for that matter, can use it to their advantage. By any means at their disposal. Contriving evidence, calling impostors as witnesses, and so on. By such underhand means, those who would want to are able to sway the jury, which by means that even in the light of irrefutable evidence, the prosecution can fail. But that means the wrong verdict can't be passed. And sadly, is, from time to time, my dear madam, it is simply the reality of the situation. And that's alright. However, those indicted by Lord Van Zykes cannot escape justice. Their fate is sealed. My. Though the adjudication may see them leave the courtroom with their freedom, within months they all disappear. It is most striking. Disappear? But how? By all means of misfortune, sir. Perhaps they are trampled under a passing carriage. Perhaps they fall into the Thames and drown. Perhaps they are suddenly overcome by a raging fever, or perhaps attacked by highwaymen. Oh, no. All examples of the reality of events here in London, I'm afraid, Miss Naruhodo. I knew it. I'm dead. No, therefore doomed. Mr. Sholmes.
Me, Miss Naruhodo. Pray, what can I do you for?
It's about the case on the SS Buria, if you recall.
The Buria. That case. The one with the snake.
Well, yes. At the time, I was the suspect, but you believed in me and listened to my side of the story. And you helped us to investigate.
I did I? Interesting. What I want to know is, why?
Why did you believe me?
I see, yes. You mean, because you are a criminally dressed, shady Eastern fellow found with the victim in a locked room.
Well, if you like, yes.
I'm a little surprised that the answer requires explaining, my dear fellow. It's quite simple, really. You said I didn't do it. But I could have been lying. Surely you must have had your doubts. You must have suspected me a little. I think perhaps you have misunderstood. I neither recall believing in you, nor in which you were telling me. What? You see, the only thing I believe in are those I choose to believe in. But what do you mean, Mr. Sholmes? I make up my own mind about what is to believe and what is not. If I should like to believe in something, I do. The circumstances can hang as far as I'm concerned. But I could have betrayed your trust. In that case, I should have made an elementary error of judgment, nothing more. Betrayal of trust is an overused excuse, in my opinion.
Meaning?
Whether or not one should trust another is, in the final analysis, down to oneself. It is a matter of whether or not one can trust oneself.
Yes, he's right. Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire.
My throat. Whether or not I can believe myself? Oh, fucking Kazuma, how do I speak his?
A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client.
And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself. You were right, Kazuma. So, are we gonna finally find a way to end this episode and head to the case? Because it's almost been an hour.
Well, my dear fellows, it is time that we were leaving, I believe. Already?
Visiting hours are over. The guard will be here shortly to escort us out.
There is a restaurant near here that serves excellent trout. Would you care to join? Dear, there's never enough time, is there?
Mr. Natsume, if you'd like, in the trial tomorrow, I'd be happy to represent you. Welcome, student Miss Naruto, Esquire. As I said, I only experienced a British courtroom for the first time yesterday. And although the man I was representing was found not guilty, I lost sight of something crucial. Something crucial? What to believe in? The defendant, justice, or the truth? How to believe, even. But I think I finally worked it out. I've decided I must believe in myself above all else, to trust my instincts. Yes, Miss Naruto. Oh, that's Sasada, whatever. I'm not saying that again. And my instincts are telling me that you, Mr. Natsume, are innocent of this crime. And it's imperative that we prove that in court. Welcome, student Mr. Naruto, Esquire. I will fight for your innocence until the bitter end, with every weapon available to me. So I hope you'll permit me to represent you tomorrow. As I said when we first met, I'd like to entrust my fate in someone who will listen to me in my native tongue. Of course, Mr. Natsume.
It would be fair to say, Miss Naruto, that your mind was, in many ways, made up from the outset. You merely needed the events of today to fully realize it.
Yes, I think you're right about that. It's been a roundabout journey, but I got there in the end. Miss Sasada.
Yes?
Would you be willing to stand by my side tomorrow and help me in court?
Absolutely. As I said this morning, you may consider me your personal judicial assistant.
Do we continue? No. Right. The shocking events of yesterday's trial still weigh heavily on my mind. But it's time to stop looking backwards. Kazuma believed in me, and Mr. Sholmes believed in me now too. So it's time. Time that I learned to believe in myself. Soseki-San has no one. He's all alone. So it's my job to help him, to fight his corner. Tomorrow, in the courtroom, with all the strength I can muster. We continue? There it is. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna say. Thank you. And I think that's where we're gonna leave it before the trial starts. My throat is killing me. My friend is here, and I doubt he wants to hear me talk more. So, yeah. I'm going to end it there. It was crazy. Back and forth. I think I got everyone's voices back on track. I'm not sure. Probably not, whatever his name was, the Scotland Yard detective guy. But whatever. That's one guy that I don't have to do again. Probably until next time. But, yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you did. Subscribe if you haven't already for more great Ace Attorney content. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.